Hi guys, Coach Lou here, dropping in to give you a tiny tip and talk about something that I get asked a lot about, or a worry that is common among women. Generally when women want to come, and especially when they want to lose body fat, or they're at a stage where, there's two aspects I suppose, they're at a stage where there isn't much body fat to lose, and but they do want to start toning up and changing the shape of their body. And then you've got women who have maybe got a fair bit of body fat to lose, and are just kind of starting out their journey. And something that is common, and I'll admit it myself, that worries women often is, I don't want to lose my breasts. And I totally get that. We're in this culture where our breasts are very much seen as sexy and as our femininity, yeah? But what I am going to say, and this is probably going to be the most unsexy thing you've ever heard about breasts, our breasts are just fat and water. Doesn't sound so sexy when you put it that way. And when it comes to changing the shape of your body, it's got to be something you've got to be prepared that is maybe going to go, and is likely going to go, because of the fact that that is all they are. They are just fat and water. And it just happens to be we live in a society where breasts are posted as this sexual thing, when actually if you go back to the beginnings of time, they were actually there for a completely different purpose, but we won't go into that today. And it's a common worry that women have, and whether they already maybe have small breasts and it's a worry that they lose any more, or whether some women, already have large breasts and they don't want to lose them. Then there's the opposite end of the scale, of the women that come in who do have large breasts and are very desperate to lose them. So something you've got to look at first of all is, body fat will leave different parts of your body at different times. So you may lose it in one area way faster than another. So if you're someone with really large breasts and you're really hoping for that miracle that the minute you start training and eating clean, they're going to go fast, that may not necessarily happen. But you also need to be prepared that that may be the area that they do go faster from, and that may just be because they're not naturally supposed to be there. But there are a couple of tips. So for those of you who have larger breasts, I didn't really understand the impact of larger breasts in training until I had my little guy, because I usually was very small in the chest. And then I soon found out, after having my little guy and breastfeeding, they were a lot larger, that jumping about with breasts is not very easy. So something I will recommend for women with a lot larger breasts is get yourself a shock absorber for training. It will make a massive difference. It holds them in nice and tight and in place. And some places you can get them specially measured, so I would look into that. For those of you who are finding they're getting smaller, try not to get too demotivated. What I will say, and I'm going to share this as personal experience because I've never really been bothered by the size of the shape of my breasts. Don't get me wrong, when they got a little bit bigger, it was nice to be able to fill a bra. But before I had my little guy, I had never been properly measured before. Had no idea that actually there was a specific way that you should lift your breast into your bra. And just very recently, I went and got a remeasure. And to be honest, I was thinking, oh gosh, they're going. And as a coach, I'm very aware that this is going to happen, but the way I look at it, and I suppose I'm going to give this tip to you guys as well, you can't have both. You can't have all these amazing curves and get yourself in super shape. You've got to have one or the other, yeah? Unless you go and buy some, they're going to change. But what I did do is I thought, they weren't sitting quite the same, and I went and I got remeasured because I thought, okay, I've lost breast tissue. What had actually happened, I hadn't lost any breast tissue at all, actually had lost around the way. I'd actually gone down 2 sizes around my chest, and actually my cup size was actually as big as what it was. So what I will say though is, it looks like having a whole new set of breasts when you go and get your bra remeasured and they're fitted properly and they're lifted in properly. So I wanted to jump on for anyone who has found that their breasts have changed. Be prepared that they may have just changed shape. I know mine did. I had to go up a cup size, and it's not because I've put on lots of body fat. It's just simply for the fact that I'm training and they're changing shape, and there's a bit of muscle definition in there now, and the fact that I had lost around the back area had gone down by 2 sizes. So from thinking, where have they gone, they are now feeling pushed back up, and I'm feeling a lot better about it. So it's just a small tip I want to pop in and tell you that, go to a decent shop. I always like to go to Bravissimo. I think they're amazing. They don't use measuring tapes. They just get in there and have a look and a feel, and tell you exactly which ones are going to make your breasts look better. So if you are feeling demotivated and feeling you're lost in a bit of shape, I highly recommend going to one of these better shops. Not a high street one. Go to one of you know, the shops that is their speciality, and get them measured and get that advice on what's going to make them look and make you feel better, so that along your journey you're not feeling demotivated. But just remember, guys, they are just fat and water, and that you're not losing your femininity. In fact, you're sculpting your body in a whole new way, so you're going to look feminine in a whole new way. You're going to look amazing in a whole new way. And it's one of those things where you can't lose copious amounts of body fat and expect them to never change. It's going to happen. But that small tip is go get them measured, get them fitted properly, and be shown how to lift them and place them in your bra properly, because you'll feel like you've got a whole new set of breasts and you'll feel a whole lot better about it. So it's just a very quick video. It's one that I thought, do you know what, it's worth sharing, because it will amaze you how many people aren't aware of that. I certainly wasn't before I had my little guy. I had no idea there was a set way I should have been wearing my bra or putting my breasts in my bra. I had no idea any of that. So whether you're small or large, I highly recommend that, and it will make you feel a whole lot better. But just remember, boobs are just fat and water. They're going to disappear if you're training a lot, but it does not mean you're losing your femininity at all. And like I say, you're going to love your body in a whole new way, because you're going to have curves and your body's going to be sculpted in a whole different way to where it was. So I suppose it's that whole kind of keep them there and keep in the body shape you are, and possibly stay quite miserable, or start to lose them a little bit but have an amazing body and start to feel confident about yourself again. But anyway, just a small tip, and remember, those of you who are larger and you're just maybe getting into training, go get yourself a shock absorber. It should make a massive difference. Again, if you go to those more specialised shops, they should be able to help you with that as well. It's tough being a woman. We got curves, we got stuff going on every month, and we've got breasts that we're trying to keep because we want to look nice. Keep on it, guys, because you're doing amazing. Leslie. Oh, great, that's great to hear. So Leslie's just saying she was putting up for bra recommendations the other day. I highly recommend Bravissimo. I wouldn't go anywhere else, but it's simply for the fact that they look at the shape of your breasts, and they tell you which one they think will fit you best and what style will fit you best, and they stay with you through the whole process. You don't need to get naked in front of them, though most women who have maybe breastfed have passed the point of caring what if people see you when you're naked. However, I honestly would highly recommend it, getting them. And even when your breasts are smaller, looking at it now, before I had my little guy, and I didn't have much there at all. Looking at it now, I was never wearing my bras properly, and you know, my underwires and stuff were always really hurting and things and digging in, and it was simply looking at it now, I wasn't wearing the correct bra size. And I must say that going and getting measured and going to a specific bra shop, the bras usually are slightly more expensive. You don't have to buy them there, but I would say that I couldn't go back to a high street store and wear a bra now, because of the ones from the specialist shops are so amazing. And like I say, if you go get measured and you find that you're wearing the wrong size, it's just going to give you a whole new lift, and it makes them look completely different. And I know myself, like I say, I was starting to get a wee bit self-conscious about mine, which is the first time I've ever felt like that in my life. And I think it's just the fact I've gone small and then gone up from having the little guy, and they're starting to go down. I was worried that they were maybe dropping a bit, and it looked like that in my bra, but as soon as I went and got fitted for this new one, they just feel amazing again. So highly recommend it, guys. Bravissimo is my favourite, but there's loads of other ones you can go to, and they're really good at recommending, as I say, the specific styles that are good for you. Because as women, we like to look nice, and I don't know about you guys, but I like my nice underwear, so that's why I quite like going to a nice shop. So anyway, anyone's got any questions about any of that stuff, or they're feeling self-conscious about the breast, feel free to get in contact, have a wee chat with me. But like I say, fat and water, it's all they are, so maybe start looking at them from that point of view rather than from a sexual point of view, because at the end of the day, we're women, we're awesome no matter what we look like. We don't need boobs to be sexy. See you later, guys.